Um, Morning, Mike. You've had plenty of travelling. You glad to be home?
Yeah, well, as long as we get the 3 points, it will be, yeah.
Has it taken much out of the squad, do you think? All the miles you put in the last 10 days, 15 days?
I hope not, Rob. Obviously we've made sure they've recovered well. And hopefully we'll get a good start tomorrow. Start bright, start on the front foot, and try and impose our game on Oldham.
And after 3 really tough-looking games away, you're still top. Is that obviously you would have liked more points, but how do you look on the reward you got?
Well, look, if you look at it, if we're totally honest, we get a point against Leyton Orient. It's an unbelievable week. It's 5 points, which would have, really, it would have been almost a perfect week. We wasn't great second half against Leyton Orient, but we were hard done by. I know Nick was very good against Salford, but, we've hit the post twice. We've missed 1 from 4 yards. We had more shots than Salford. We had more possession than Salford. And we kept going to the end, having watched it back as well. You can see there is a little push. So the penalty was rightly given, even though it might be, looking from their point of view, it might be soft, but there was a push and he's given the referee a chance to give the penalty. So, look, I don't care. We got the point and it was a great character from the boys.
And we seem to say it every week to you, but every other team would like to be where you are at the moment.
Well, exactly. It's an unbelievable start. Now I think we got 4 out of 5 at home now, and it's a good opportunity to try and get as many points as we can in the next 2 weeks.
You've often said that in the summer you looked at everything, your medical, all the parts of the club. Has that sort of come to fruition, born fruition now with the where you are, not just where you are, but just how you've come through a really tough spell?
Yeah, 100%. Because, I think last season or even the season before, if, with the amount of injuries we had, I think we would have been lucky to come away with 1 point, previous seasons. And that's even when we got to the playoffs. We still wasn't great away, but we've started well. We've got a good number of points away from home so far. And the interesting thing is we've only played 8 at home. We've played 8 at home and 10 away. So on the flip side, you have a look, Cheltenham have played 10 at home and 8 away. So, it's gives us I'd say a slight advantage, but it means nothing unless we get the wins in those games.
And we ask you every week as well, how's the pitch holding up and how will it hold up over Christmas, do you think?
I think we got a weather warning this week, today, tomorrow, and the next few days. So, look, it is what it is. It's nothing can be done about it. The ground staff work their socks off trying to get it in the best condition it can be in. So there's no blame there. They work tirelessly. It is what it is. We've got to get on with it, and we've got to adapt at times.
Oldham have got a decent away record, Mike. They seem to perform on the road, don't they?
Oldham are a good team. They on their day they'll beat anybody. It's League Two. You know what I mean? I'm not getting carried away. The position they're in. They lost Tuesday night, but they'll feel aggrieved by that because the manner of the loss. They'll feel that they've helped contribute to Walsall's win, and they'll be looking to put it right on tomorrow. So, yeah, they've got some really good players, and they can cause teams problems, all throughout the league.
Obviously, we're coming up to January. First of all, with your loan players, are they all on a season? I think 1 or 2 were till January, weren't they? Have you looked at any of that yet, Mike? Have you started talks over that?
Yeah, I've been looking for a while now, looking to see what we keep, what goes back, or who goes back, and targets to bring in where I feel can give us that push to the end of the season to have a good season.
Is Scott Twining, because he captures so many headlines, scores spectacular goals, goal of the month at least once. Is he someone you're concerned might get recalled, or have you had talks with Swindon yet?
Listen, they'll be ongoing. They're ongoing, those talks. He's obviously somebody I want to keep. We'll know more in the next few days.
Are you optimistic, Mike? Or
I'm always optimistic, Rob. I'm always optimistic.
does he want to stay? I mean, I can understand why Swindon might like him back the way he's playing, but is he happy where he is?
Yeah, listen, you look at it, it's not a position really that Swindon need. They've got 3 or 4 number 10s already. That's not my decision. I can't comment on the players they want. John will know who he wants, who he doesn't want, where he wants to strengthen, where he doesn't want to strengthen. But from our point, we want to keep Scott, and Scott wants to stay. So that's all I can say at the minute. But
yeah,
it is Swindon's decision, and I want to be respectful to them as well.
Yeah, quite. But talks are, you hope to know before Christmas or what, Mike? I mean, I suppose they got till December the 31st, really. But when do you hope to know?
Yeah, listen, there'll be a few. Well, I hope there's only one call and we get the answer we want, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, brilliant. Anybody else affected like that, Mike?
Well, the thing with the loans, I think because of the COVID and everything, there are season-long loans, so to speak, and there's usually, a week's grace where you can either send a player back or the parent team can call them back. That's as honest I can be. I'm not going to tell you who's in that and who's not, but that is generally how it's been this season. Not all have got that, but yeah, it is what it is.
It's the usual thing, yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah. We've had positive. The other one, I'll tell you, we've had positive conversations with Swansea, so that's good.
Oh, right, okay, because Brandon has signed a new deal with Swansea, hasn't he? So I suppose that ends uncertainty for him, and he's playing first team football, which he must love.
Yeah, listen, and obviously you look at the position Swansea are in. They've got some very good defenders there already. Unless they have a complete, catastrophe of injuries in that position, I'm confident with speaking to Steve that they see his development year until the end of the season. Then, it's down to Brandon then in pre-season to force his way into Swansea's first team.
Yeah. Has he taken to it better than you thought he might, Mike? Or because it is a leap, isn't it, from sort of going on loan but under 23s football and all this. I know he's played under 21s for Wales, but League Two is a really physical, aggressive league, isn't it?
Yeah, what's impressed me the most about him, it's not whether he's taken to it, it's the consistency in which he's taken to it. He has been on point, for 95% of the time when playing. And that's really impressive for somebody that his age, who was first loan in the league. So he deserves a big tap on the back for that. But it's the way he goes about himself. Nothing phases him. He works hard day in, day out. And you can see why he's got a new contract at Swansea. And fair play to him. He's deserved that.
And just finally on January, hoping to add as well?
Yeah.
Because you're in a position of strength, aren't you?
100%. I'm looking to add. I'll be speaking to the board later on to see exactly what we've got, what I can have, and also I'll have to wheel and deal as well with one or two maybe leaving.
That's the way it is.
It is the way it is. Listen, at the end of the day, I've got to do what's best for the football club. There's nothing personal. I've got a lot of time for every player here. They've all been treated well, whether they've involved or not involved, and I'll continue to do that unless their attitude drops, of course. But yeah, one or two that need to probably move on and play some games will be made clear to them.
And finally, for me, David Longking has had to be patient. You've brought him in now. Is there any danger with him that he's going to try and over-impress to make up for lost time?
Well, listen, that's why we're taking our time. Taking our time with him. We put him on up front on Tuesday night, and listen, that was more just for him to cause a bit of nuisance. He's he's unbelievable. He's got unbelievable strength. He's quite quick, and he's a physical presence. So we just tried to cause a bit of confusion up there on Tuesday. It's not something I really like doing, if I'm honest. But with our target men out Tuesday night, we had to try and just last roll the dice, so to speak, and it paid off.
All the best tomorrow, Mike.
Cheers, Rob. Thanks, mate.
Oh, Mike, must be a nice position because you say wheel a deal in January, but you're an attractive move for players as well. That must be a great position to be in as a manager.
Yeah, listen, and with that, you want to attract the right player. Players know that when they come here, they're going to have to fight to get into the team. Whether I bring them in January or the summer, they're going to have to really put the work in, and the performance levels need to be high from to get into this team at the moment. And once you get them, the players you want, and they're willing to do that or want to do that, then it is a really attractive proposition, because, like you said, they'll be seeing it, that if they're coming in and they can strengthen the team, then there's no reason why we can't go, keep this going. And if we do, then everybody gets rewarded, don't they?
As you sort of alluded to after the game, you sign players with really good, strong characters, and that's as important, isn't it, as the ability, isn't it, when you're going so well, to get the right.
Yeah, listen, the biggest mistake for me now would be signing somebody who would be a disruptive influence on the group. Listen, you don't get them all right. You never know what they're going to be like in the environment until they're there. But I'll be being as careful as I can on who comes in. Might have to have one gamble, but yeah, it's pleasing because the group we got, they won't let that creep in.
You mentioned up front, forced you to put David up front on Tuesday. Where was Jamie Proctor? Did he have a knock?
Yeah, he just had a slight knock. And with Ryan, not quite there yet. He's been training. We couldn't risk it. There's no point in having both out for a number of weeks over this period now. And look, it was just a slight little knock, and he's fit for tomorrow.
Okay. Similarly, it's hard to. I was doing it off iFollow, and was Matty Dolan the same? Was he? Did he have a knock?
Yeah, listen, I don't think the journey helped Matty. The amount of time we were stuck on a coach. He's one of these who needs to have a good loosener, and he just felt something in his hip flexor. But again, he's had the treatment the last few days, and he's good to go.
Good. You've said to me many a time about League Two and the predictability, and I guess the results on Tuesday showed that, because it was only Carlisle who started in the top 7 that won. So that sort of hammers home your point, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. And listen, Carlisle, they're doing fantastically well. They're a good team. I think for the first half up there, they were a lot better than us. And that's probably the only time this season I felt that, he was a little bit away from what they were first half. Given that, second half, we kept going, and nearly nicked something out of it, albeit it would have been a bit harsh on Carlisle. I'll always be honest. They deserve to beat us. They did beat us, and they're going well, especially at home. So it is what it is. I can't concentrate on what Carlisle do. We just got to worry about what we do. And listen, I know it sounds a little bit obvious, but if we win every game now to the end of the season, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. Although that's highly unlikely.
Yeah. In terms of this last sort of, it almost ends a block, doesn't it? Because it's the last Saturday, Tuesday, and it must be nice for the backroom team as much as anyone that you're on the end of this little block before it goes again.
Yeah, listen, like I said, we've got 10 away games out of the way now. It's 13 to go. We're on countdown mode soon. It's grueling. When we knew it was the promoted teams, relegated teams, we knew it was going to be a League Two North. And it is what it is. They've got to come down here as well, albeit only once or twice. But like I said, we've got a good return so far on the road, and we just got to keep that going now for the last 13 games away from home.
Finally, for me, you said last week about the backroom staff and how good they are, but Wayne Hatswell, how important is he to you? And can you talk about the sort of job he does for you?
He's massively important. It's not just his quality of work. It's the trust element. If, for example, I've had to go to a meeting or something, I know full well he will do what I want exactly to the level that I would expect it to be at. He's loyal. He leads the other staff as well. When he has to. And listen, he's somebody I can't speak highly of. He's in the background now and then. But I might let him loose on the press soon.
No, blimey, because I presume every manager needs to be challenged as well. And I presume he challenges you in a good way.
Listen, I encourage all my staff to have an input. Obviously the final decision comes down to myself, but I'm by no means do I think I know it all. I encourage them to have an opinion, to come up with suggestions. And there has been times where, I've said, you know what, let's go with that because I like the way that you've come across, whether it be Wayne, Danny, Jim. It's a sign of a good team. I trust my team. I trust my staff. And if I didn't, they wouldn't be here, to be honest.
And also with him, the lack of crowds means that he occasionally pops up an iFollow as well, Wayne, with his... I think was it Carl Hawkins, Scunthorpe, was it?
He gets a little bit animated. Listen, I've been very, I'm going to say, cautious about. There's no crowds. You can hear everything, so I've been quite reserved on the sidelines this season. For one, I'm not getting a fine. My missus will kill me. And two, listen, you've got to I've learned that I need to be concentrating on what's going on in front of me, and I think it helps Wayne. Actually, I think it helps him with having a bit of a pop now and then. I think he gets the best out of him.